Hi, welcome to Market Flow. I'm going to do a quick analysis on the market and then I'm going to share with you a few trading ideas. Right here, the SPY closed pretty strong to the upside, and I believe tomorrow can be either make it or break it for the market. If the market can close above its high, that's going to be a pretty good signal for the bulls, but if it doesn't, then we may expect a sell-off. And the reason why, it's because we're pretty overbought. If you want to know in detail my analysis on that, you can watch my video that I made on the weekend and you're gonna find out everything about it. For right now, things are like trading within this channel right now, and there is it hasn't broke this support. I cannot say the same thing with tech right now. It had a pretty good push after hours, and I believe is currently about, it might open about 334, which is support. Now if tomorrow we wake up with bad news, I can expect that to be the back test and then eventually sell off all the way to 320, and that will conclude with this ABC correction to the downside, but still to be seen. But I think that's what I'm expecting right now, and I'm gonna share a few trading ideas. Mainly some of these ideas are to the downside, and the reason why, it's because these stocks have been selling off quite a bit, and I think it's almost predictable which stocks are gonna be next. One of them is BLNK, and recently it broke the uptrend or the reversal. It backed as this trend line, it backed this again, and then it's creating this triangle right here. And to me, this looks like a head and shoulder, and just like any of the other companies like Peloton and you name it have sell off pretty quick, I think this one's next. BLNK, I already have some puts, and I mean, if it breaks above this trend line, you know, I'll just close for a loss, but otherwise I think the risk to reward right now for the downside looks pretty good. And this is a stock that was trading at $6, so right now my target is 20, and that's just because of the head and shoulders, but it can go even lower, maybe all the way to $13, and then eventually it's gonna get back. But for right now, I think that it has more downside than upside. Yeah, let's look at it real quick. TDOC, it's another one, but let's look at TDOC real quick. So TDOC here in the computer, it shows that it already broke the downside, and it just barely did. Now this is a company that is valued at $23 billion, but it's roughly making $1 billion a year with a negative revenue of half of that. So PS of 17, that's pretty bad, and therefore I think the bears are gonna hang into TDOC. So let's look to the chart real quick. There you go. So if you're holding TDOC, my thought on this one is that it's going to continue selling all the way to 89. That's probably it, maybe a little bit above it. The reason why, it's because it had this huge head and shoulders right here, so it can continue selling quite a bit. Like I said, $22 billion for a company that is selling $1 billion and it's not making any revenue. So that's the same thing with VUZI. I think this one today, it closed below support, and you can see very clear the head and shoulder pattern right here. Target for this one will be around $10.50. That will coincide with the 200 moving average. And I mean, some of these ones, they get pulled pretty quick. So that's one more. Beam, that's another one as well. This one's still holding support, but as you can see, there's really not much between support and the next support. So just like Peloton and some of those, once it breaks, it's going to break pretty hard to the downside. Target $41. AI, even though this one already sold quite a bit, in my opinion, is still overvalued, and I don't think the bears are gonna let it go anytime soon. And if I look at it right here, AI, yeah, so AI, the trend line, it's still below the current market price, and this is a company that has 33 PS, which is way above what you would like to see. You like to see something below 5, 10 at the most. I'm not an expert in value, but I mean, for a company who's making 180 billion, losing half of them, and then its value $6 billion, that's way too much. And then, I mean, there were all signs all over the place that this was gonna be a sell-off. Look at this, everyone was selling so hard, dude, in March and April. $45 million, 45, 22, 16, 42. They were just trying to get out as soon as possible. I think that was expected, and I think it's going to continue to sell off. I think I already went through TDOC. Again, I think there's going to be continuation. Let's review Tesla real quick. Tesla today, he broke the trend line right here. So 664 in the past, it was the support, it was right here, 660, 670, it was closing above 670, 670, 670, 670, and just like this one, once it closed below 670, it rapidly came all the way down here. So 600, it's perhaps the next stop for Tesla. So now if Tesla comes down, I'm afraid other sectors are gonna come down. NIO is doing the same thing. I think NIO looked a lot more bullish at one point. I traded it, and then at this particular time it doesn't look bullish. Look, this is support right here, support. It was back tested, and then today closed below that. So I think if Tesla is going to sell, there's going to be a lot of EV that is going to sell. Yeah, this one is another one just to keep in mind, but I'm not going to go in depth with this one. But I guess this is a company that is not performing very well and is a little bit overvalued. So right now I think I should look at the weekly chart. That's probably a lot better. So this one, 2006, it has these cycles, large cycles. So I won't be surprised if it comes back hard again. It's just what this stock is known for. AMD, another one that has broken, and it's currently in a downtrend, but you can see big head and shoulders right now. If I go to the daily, you're gonna see that we broke and we closed below the trend line, and I think like once we close below 53, there's really no support right here. It's gonna sell all the way to 55 now. So those are my thoughts for the market. Now if you want to go bull on something, I think that may be oil. The oil sector, I think it's about to get into a bull sector, and this is the thing that is pretty excited. One, it's a inflation trade, which means if we keep seeing inflation, which is going to happen, oil prices are going to keep going up, and then the estimated price for this one, it's going to go perhaps all the way to 145, perhaps beyond. And you can see how it has already broken the downtrend. So this has been a consolidation for a few years already. So this is a really long trend right now that is about to pick up, so keep that in mind if you want to go long on something. I think right now the oil sector may be safe. I know it looks a little bit overbought right here, so it may do something like this perhaps. We'll see. Keep an eye on it, because it can definitely start making another leg up if it goes up, if it closes above its current height. And then there's different ways to play it. Hall is one of them. It's a company who does who makes instruments services for the energy industry. So I think this stock it's about to explode as well. As you can see, heights used to be 73, and so it's currently on an uptrend. And then there's other ways to play it as well. You can use USO, which are the United States contracts. As you can see, ever since March, April, it's been going up substantially. I already made 135 upside. And then if you want to leverage oil, UCO is the 3x leverage of oil prices. So again, there's going to be more volatility on this one, but ever since April this is 354%, so keep that in mind. Baba is one that I was considered as well for the upside, but I think if the market is gonna sell, everything is gonna sell, so I'm just waiting for the breakout. I had a position, and as soon as I saw that start making this leg down, I closed my position, and right now I'm just waiting to see which way it's gonna break. If it breaks the triangle to the upside, then confirmation. And there's pretty good investors in this company right now, and I think that brings a little bit of comfort. But again, if everything sells, everything's gonna sell, so I don't really trust. I think this is it for today. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, any other setups, put it in the comments below. If you want to know more about my thoughts on the market, I have a longer video that I make over the weekend. You can go ahead and look at it. Thank you for watching, and subscribe.